good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap. I hope all of you guys have had a wonderful day so far. My day's been all right, not a lot of news today, so it's been pretty relaxing for the most part. For today's news recap, we have the Trump administration segment as always, and then we have one segment in the other news segment. For the Trump administration segment, we have Trump admits that he doesn't know what signal is, and he says he won't rule out military force in Greenland. For the second part, Trump tells NBC he won't rule out the opportunity for a third term. And for the third part, Trump has threatened to bomb Iran. Let's get started. Trump Trump admits he doesn't know what signal is and says he won't rule out military force on Greenland. In a meeting with NBC, Trump claimed all options were on the table to own Greenland. He said, we'll get Greenland, yeah, 100%. It's going to be a good possibility that we could do it without military force. He would go on to say, I don't take anything off the table. Trump was asked about his thoughts on the message that annexing Greenland would send to the world, and he would say, unfazed, I don't really think about that. I don't really care. Greenland is a very separate subject. It's very different. It's an international peace. It's international security and strength. Trump also talked about the Signalgate lawsuit, where he said bluntly, I have no idea what signal is. I don't care what signal is. All I can tell you, it's a witch hunt, and the only thing the press wants to talk about, because you have nothing to talk about, because it's been the greatest 100-day presidency in the entire history of our country. Trump would go on to say, I don't fire people because of fake news and witch hunts. Do you guys know, Trump couldn't care less. I'm going to keep making that reference because he said it multiple times the other day. But, I mean, how can a man who's supposed to be for the president of the American people go on national television and say, I don't care? We'll get back to that. Let me tell you why. Because he never cared about the American people. How about instead of worrying about Greenland, we should worry about districts we control that should be states already, like Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. These are two of the most underrepresented places in the United States already, and if any territory deserves to be a state, it should be either D.C. or Puerto Rico. D.C. isn't a territory, but you get my point. These these territories have more population than some states in a lot of instances. So why shouldn't they be states if Greenland should be a state? Why shouldn't they be states if Canada should be a state? But like I said, Trump couldn't care less about the American people's needs. For those wondering, my other cat came into my vehicle while I was trying to record, or when I was going to start. This is Ginger. He is not the most intelligent, but he's very sweet. But that's what you expect from orange cats. He's very handsome. Everybody say hi to Ginger. Anyways, let's move on to the next segment. Trump has threatened to bomb. Wait a minute. No. We still got one before that. Trump has told NBC he won't rule out running for a third term. Trump has not ruled out the possibility of seeking a third term under something highly prohibited by the Constitution and under the 22nd Amendment. In an interview with NBC News, he said he had methods for doing so, and he was not joking about it. Trump said, a lot of people want me to do it. He would go on to say, but I mean, I basically tell them we have a long way to go, it's very early in the administration. Trump added, I'm focused on the current. When he was asked if he wanted another term, Trump said, I like working, going on to say, I'm not joking. NBC asked about the possibility of J.D. Vance running for office and stepping down to give the presidency to Trump, And Trump would say that's one method, um, but would say there are other methods too. He would refuse to share. He would refuse to share those other methods. I wonder what George Washington would say. Sure, he didn't make the law that presidents could only run for two terms, but he started the trend and really set a basis for presidents going forward. And I feel, you know, he worked so hard to create this great nation, and now, 46 presidents later, someone is actively working to destroy what George Washington sought to create, which is really, really sad, truly. This is very illegal, and it likely won't happen for a large number of reasons. One of them, the big one, honestly, being is he probably won't live that long. But if he did, oh boy, I would be dead very quickly from stress. Um, if anyone really is worried about this, don't be. There's a next generation of politicians, including me myself, who would rather die than see that happen. So you don't have to worry about it because people are wanting and willing to fight for you every day. Hello, car. Okay. Do you want out? We're gonna let the car out. Go. Bye. Moving on. Trump has threatened to bomb Iran. Trump has threatened Iran with bombing and tariffs if the country does not come to agreement on its nuclear program. In a phone call with NBC News, Trump said if they don't make a deal, there will be a bombing. He would also say there's a chance that they don't make a deal and that I will do secondary tariffs on them for like I did 4 years ago. What brought them into position that was very much wanted to be. The Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said Iran has rejected the direct negotiations with the United States. Pezeshkian said, although the possibility sides of direct negotiations between the two sides has been rejected, in response it has been emphasized that the path for indirect negotiations remains open. It's unfortunate that every president we have had has to have their hands deep in the Middle East. I just want to bring up the fact that Trump was supposed to be the anti-war candidate, and now he's trying to launch us into multiple wars across the world, but that's beyond the point. I really do wish there was a way to have peace with Middle Eastern countries. Honestly, I would personally like to strive towards that. I think there's a lot of benefit coming out of having peace and not being in the Middle East all the time. But there's a lot of reasons why that isn't a thing, and there's a lot of tensions in the Middle East that make that not a thing. But I think some instances are just unnecessary. Like, you shouldn't be threatening to bomb another country just because they don't want to make a deal with you. That's insensible and crazy. Some things that Trump very clearly is, but yeah, it's gonna be rough, and I would be shocked. I would truly, really be shocked if we don't end up in a war by the end of this presidency. Truly. For the final segment today, it's just one segment in the other news segment. Where has our congressman gone? Constituents sing in Virginia. Constituents in the 1st Congressional District of Virginia are upset about their representative, Rob Whitman, not going to town hall meetings. This has prompted constituents to sing about their representative, and here's how the song goes. Where, oh, where has our congressman gone? Where, oh, where can he be? While he votes against all that we depend on, he's harder and harder to see. Where, oh, where has Rob Whitman gone? Oh, where can he be? Behind closed doors with his billionaire friends, His tax cuts fill them with glee. He works for us, which he seems to forget, and represent as he should. Well, in 26 we can vote him right out, and then he can hide out for good. Fire song, if you ask me, should be top billboards. Number one, platinum record. Constituents also during the meeting held rubber chickens and squeaked them. Um, the fact that these representatives aren't going to their meetings makes me sick. It's their job, which they are paid to do and voted to do by the American people, and yet they won't do them. Anyone who doesn't do their job, plain and simple, should not be allowed to have it. And that's where I'm going to leave that one because I shouldn't have to explain that anymore. If you are voted to do a job and you are paid to do a job, you should do that job and not just sit on your ass. Maybe if Elon Musk wants to cut out government waste, he should cut out all these senators who don't go to their town hall meetings, but they'll never do that. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. I hope we all had a wonderful day. This is a short one compared to yesterday's, which was around 40 minutes long. Absolutely crazy, but you know how it goes. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow with another news recap video. This is episode 15, I believe, which is pretty hype. So yeah, whether you're on Apple Music, YouTube, Substack, or whatever, listening, thanks. Thanks for checking out the stuff. I appreciate your support. Later, guys.